Youngmi Organ, thank you for joining me today on Brite Cast. Let's start off with a little bit about yourself and how you got into art, and we'll go from there.
Hi, Mike. Thank you for having me. And I'm Youngmi Organ. I'm an artist. Okay, go back like a long time ago, about 40 years ago, about 10. My mom.
You're 50?
Yeah.
No way.
Over.
No way. Oh my gosh, you look great. Well done. Not to distract you, but
Thank you. So before we get to read storybooks, my mom used to buy encyclopedia for famous people and things happen in history. So I remember reading all kinds of stuff, and then I found a few artists in that book, and I get really inspired.
Okay.
And I think that moment I knew that I want to be one like them, but didn't know what it takes to be one.
What kind of illustrations was it?
There was like a lot of history. Like I see on George Washington with the pictures, and it was for the young people encyclopedia, so that you learn about histories and famous people in history book. And I saw it's kind of weird, but it was sunflower painting that was so beautiful, but it was done by Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah.
And I get to learn for a little clip, but then that it's still so vivid, and I want to be like this. I want to paint like this. This is amazing. So at that moment I kind of decide this is what I want to be.
Wow, that's great. I mean, most people at that age I want to be a fireman or something, not possible. So did you start taking painting classes or something from that point?
No, I just told myself we had 6 children, and my mom only focused on the kids that doing things good academically, and I was actually very quiet and introvert. So I wasn't really stand out like my sisters. So I just had to that was my word that I only need a sketchbook and crayons and stuff like that, and just I kind of build myself like that. And in the high school, I think I kind of spoke up. This is what I want to do, and it was kind of late to prepare to go to art college, but then I pursued myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I got in, and it was.
Is that all you did every day after school sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you have to do if you're really passionate about something. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 18. So every day, I started going to Nova, and then every day after school, I would just play for 4 or 5 hours. That's the only way you get good, right?
I love
Yeah.
it. Sometimes you have to play for it.
Yeah, I'm not as good as I used to be, but but still, I mean, I still play enough. So you didn't take any classes, or did you go to art school?
No, before getting there, Korea, college is super competitive. So high school, 3 years, I had to prepare. But people started early, middle school and stuff.
Okay.
So I was be late, but I was determined. So I was working really, really hard. You wake up, you go to school, high school around 7, and then go home. You get there home 11.
Oh, wow.
So
So you just go straight to sleep and
no, the homework, and then go sleep, and you are doing all over again for 3 years. And then, but I never get too tired. I was so happy because I know that this is my journey, and that was my dream. How are you gonna get tired?
Exactly. Well, that's good. A lot of people. I went to school for marketing, which data stuff, which was not fun. But I minored in music industry, which kind of kept me going and was fun. So what did you study in school?
Well, so I think I studied actually I studied in calligraphy for a while.
Okay.
I don't know, it's something so beautiful about you need to control so much, and then when you do drawings, you could use your hands. It's very physical.
Yeah.
But calligraphy, something about that is controlling, but your hand never touches in the surface. It's all on tip of the brush that you have to kind of extend yourself to do it. And something that was so challenging. It's so hard to do it because the rice paper it bleeds really fast. So it needs it needs a speed, and it needs a control, and something so beautiful about that whole thing. So I was fascinating, and I was doing it. That one, I did it in a middle school. I think that kind of got me to introduce more like a variety of different things. So I did brush arts, and then drawings and painting, and then like pre-making. I just went all over the place. But first form of art that I was introduced was like professionally was calligraphy.
Wow. Do you think that like control helped you moving into like painting?
I mean, painting, like Western and Eastern arts is a little different. Eastern art, Western arts is a little more like mathematical. That like the shapes and you in creating a in space like delusionary kind of a space that like you put three-dimensional images in two-dimensional surface. So there's a lot of calculated, okay, that's a horizon line and this is a vanishing point. So you have like plain things and the color's the same. The light hits and the lighter and darker. But Eastern arts are more like you kind of understand like concept and then you kind of digest it in your brain and then you bring it out only the essence of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay, yeah.
So like, it's very like lots of things that omitted, and but something like strokes and like it's images that kind of suggest that like to viewer that hey, you see this and you see something beyond this without actually looking at it. So it's something like a very poetic and like there's something very abstract.
Yeah.
So I actually love it. Both. I study both at the same time.
Oh, very cool. You want to pull that mic closer if you're gonna sit back. Don't worry about it. So like, you first fell in love with it at like 10 years old. Like, have you ever fallen out of love with it, or just gotten more intense and you keep growing as you go?
I think that's the case. I was just keep like interested. Look, at the time we didn't have a computer, so only sources that we find from the book.
Right.
So like you keep looking for like you read this artist and then you get to know about Gauguin because Gauguin's good friend was Gauguin, and then you learn about Impressionism. And then you in there like you get to know. So it was like a little kind of like a very like a attractive image. I got into get to know a lot of artists that around that at the time, and so like you more you know it, more you get more excited.
Right. Yeah. So do you feel like you kind of try to like copy them in some ways? Like
Of
like
course.
in a band you do cover songs
Of
because
course.
of other people you like, and then you kind of start to find your own style. I mean, would you say you have a particular style now, or you just kind of keep it open to what the project is?
Well, I think that now I'm like with 30 years of my career, I think I've kind of built my style. But still, if I see something I like it, I liked it, and then I kind of use it like as an inspiration.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like, of course, like I'm not a god. I see things and then I love it, and then I play with it and I make it my own.
Right.
Like like one of those my favorite artists in history. He's an architect, the Spain architect.
Not Sean Porter.
He's amazing too, but Gaudi.
Okay.
It's like he used all the nature's like inspiration to his architecture.
Oh wow.
Feel to it, so it's very organic. He's the architect that only use all like organic lines instead of rigid lines.
Yeah.
And then the inspiration is like ocean, under the ocean or mountain, and then when you see the building you could feel it, and even only not outside, inside when you go in there it's a journey, like you could swim through. You can see.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's like so like for me my inspiration is always there, like all over around. But of course as someone's other artist, yes.
Do you have like a specific area that you pull inspiration from? I mean, for me, like writing songs, I either sit down and start playing something and then the song comes, or I I'm like falling asleep and the words come to me. Is there like a consistent way that you're inspired for the paintings?
Yes, but isn't it like is it your like lyrics dealing with the emotions and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it just depends. I mean, sometimes they're silly too.
Most,
most of them are emotional about something I'm going through, and it's kind of like my way to sort of like self-therapize myself, if that's a word.
Like reflecting.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
And it's
kind
usually like when I finish a song, that's kind of like finishing a chapter of what I've been going through. Right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. Like the things that involve with me, like I see sometimes like that I may become a subjective, or sometimes I'm like in third person looking at things, stuff like that. I tend to like things that like that has like great potential. That like even for example, I see the pile of mulches right by my garden.
Okay.
And I passed by many times, and one day it caught my eye. So I'm like, oh, my poor mulches house waiting for me. But because it's there for a purpose to fill the garden and give nutrients, like all kinds of things. But the shapes that like the being, it's just like, oh, it kind of reminds of me.
Oh, okay.
That those times, like I had a big like one sketch right then because I kind of felt related to it. It's like I was raising my kid. I'm away from making art for a while, for I guess 10, 14 years. And like at the time, a lot of my drawings about chairs and mulch and trees that kind of cut off, waiting for the part that grow back. And so like, you have a purpose where there's a time that you have to wait.
Right.
But being there, like just being, it's just so beautiful still. And in that way, you still serving it. So like I see resemblance of me, like what I'm going through. Then it caught my eye. It like touches my heart. Then that's my inspiration.
How did you paint a pile of mulch?
I I painted, but I also do a lot of drawing. I love drawing. Like as a musician, how you like to play your music? What's the best way?
I mean, usually guitar.
There's something that like is so grounded,
Yeah.
like so connected that you feel like one. Like drawing is kind of like that. Such a basic, but it's like it really translates all my feelings.
Okay. And then do the drawings become paintings? So you gotta get your idea out through drawing, and then that's where it's like starts to take form. I mean, that's kind of like, with the song, you do like a rough demo on just the guitar and vocals, and then all the rest of the production comes once you have the core of the song. So
yes.
a similar type of thing. That's really cool. Has that been your process pretty much the whole time?
Yeah, but then I also realized that sometimes, do you sing?
Yeah, try to.
But like I love musicians. Like if I have a second chance of life, I want to be a musician.
Okay.
I want to be crazy, but I can't. So that's all my dreams. But like when you go to concert and stuff, it's like with all like backgrounds and drums, it's like your heart like pounding and love it, and like you don't even know you're jumping like the whole time because you're just like
in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then like artists, like sometimes he cut off everything, just nothing, and then it was just a piano that he sings.
Right.
And just the voice so bare, almost like naked, but like free.
Yeah.
But then you could really hear his voice, and like you just have to close your eyes and you just feel it.
Yeah.
Right. For me, like a drawing is kind of like that.
Okay.
It's very like down the bass, but itself has the really strong like voice, just like a very voice with the piano.
Right.
For me, so
very organic, as you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like now I do paintings, but sometimes some of the works, the drawing itself is so powerful, the colors become distracted. So some other artists. But then I have to create my own way to display drawings that. Wow, it's so complicated. The process was like show everything, which I brought it today, which I'm gonna share with you.
Yeah,
but
please.
Yeah, so like for me, like each, like even printmaking, painting, drawing, calligraphy, even doodling, they has their own powerful itself, like a beauty and a stronger, like just their own. So like I don't know, like I process it sometimes with the little drawing, painting like that, but sometimes when I like the drawing and this piece has to be drawing,
Okay.
then I like created a process that like as intense like a painting, or this piece has to be mixed media, and you know,
Okay.
then then you develop it in that way. So like that's like a arts, that what's going on nowadays, that like your concept kind of fits like determine what kind of media you're going to use,
Right.
and then like you even process and everything else kind of makes sense, that make a whole.
Right. Well, it kind of like as you're doing it, I mean, like to give a reference, like with music, the stripped down just the guitar and vocals, sometimes that's all it's going to be.
Yes.
And that's the best version of what that song is going to be. Sometimes it's like, well, we need drums, we need all the other stuff, you know, we need the big production, we need a choir or whatever it is. But the piece kind of, as you're making it, starts to speak to you in some way, where it's like, it starts to tell you, okay, this is what we're doing as it starts to come out of you. That's cool. I mean, it's very similar, you know, I mean, I think you're more accomplished than I am, but you know, the process is very similar.
It is very similar, because it's a form of art, and then just we kind of express, but like the expression sometimes is so loud, and then the loud itself is just so beautiful, but that doesn't mean actually loud, you know. But some are very like so like quietly but screaming. There's a pieces like that. Right.
So
love it.
When did you come to the US? Like what made you come like do that journey?
So like I was young, and I'm always thinking I want to be famous.
I was like that too. Don't worry.
So it's like at the time, like overall studying is something like everybody's a dream. And so 4 years of my bachelor's, I was doing really good, and to get there, like 7 years of hard working. Like I know that 2 years in on grad school in Korea, I know what to expect, because I was there for forever. I needed a new challenge, something that blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, so like, okay, I'll go. And then like we had a group of friends in college, and they all like me. They're all like motivated. They're like amazing artists, and they're like, I want to go. So we all like preparing together. So we apply America, but then I'm the only one got in.
Really?
Everybody, they got rejected.
Wow.
You know, we were foreigners. We had to apply visas.
But yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So like
I
know, but they went to England and France. So
cool.
and then I came here. So we kind of, I don't know, people don't do that, but we exchange letters and like talk about our journey
before email.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
So that's what we kind of kept each other like stronger. But going through the hard times. Yeah.
So did you come to Virginia like directly?
Baltimore.
Or? Baltimore, really?
Yeah.
Why Baltimore?
Because the Maryland Institute College of Art.
Okay.
That's like past a school, like a Chicago Institute, but like those are schools that I was interested in, and so I was there, and I thought I'll just get in college and grad school and bam, bam, bam. But no, I couldn't speak English, so I have to do 2 years in Towson English, and then I have to take a test, it's kind of SAT sort of thing, and then once you pass the score, then you get to apply.
Okay. How difficult was that to learn a language in your 20s?
Okay, I'll tell you that that I the day that I ordered pizza through the phone, I celebrated that day. I called my friends like, yeah, I ordered it.
That's great.
I couldn't eat pizza for a year. I only go to the store to order it, but nobody understood what I said.
Right, yeah. So it was fairly difficult, I imagine. Yeah. I mean, supposedly it's a lot easier to learn language when you're really young.
Yeah.
But the older you get, the more difficult it is. I learned Spanish a bit in high school. I took like 4 years of it, but I totally forget it. And now, like when we go to Cancun, I'm like, "Donde está el taxi?" Like I just, I start to get it like as soon as we're about to leave after like a week. I start to kind of like hear it again. So you ended up going to grad school there?
Okay. Yeah. First attempt didn't get in, so I had a year to prepare more. And then I got in, and then that was like...
So what did you study in grad school?
Like it was the program that mostly like conceptual art, something, the art scenes that what's going on right now. So that like, like you have to think about what you want to talk about through your art.
Yeah.
Instead of, like... not about learning skills and stuff like that's done in the
like your thesis through your art.
Yeah. So like you have like you have to ask these kind of questions that people don't ask, like who are you, where you from, like
well, that's like a tough question for a lot of people to answer.
I know, but it's not like one dimensional. Oh, I'm from Korea. It's not like that. Like you know what I mean? Like a little deeper. You have to search yourself. So like going through all like stuff like that, I'm like, like things that I didn't even think about as a woman, like where I am in my history, in this world, and like stuff like what I'm interested in, what I want to talk about as me myself. So I had to go through this because Korea is amazing. They're like a machine that create, like you're like a machine, like super smart. Like you could do anything. Like bam, like a lot of work and discipline and stuff. But I never actually get into know myself until I went to grad school. So this like what the first months I was so like.
Was it difficult to even like try to start to think that way? Because you're really just. I'm just going to do and create, but not like, what am I going to say through my creation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is harder than what I thought. Like, it was like, I just learned language, but now I have to create my own language to speak out. You know what I mean? Not like descript, like stuff like that. I'm like, whoa. So a
bit enlightening. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of the toughest part, I think. And that, were you like early 20s, mid 20s at that point?
Yeah, end of almost over mid 20s.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of the point where you're starting to have to wrestle with those things. So it's kind of a good timing.
It was. I'm so happy that I had a chance like that, and it was just like amazing. But things that sometimes you cover it because you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But then you dig through,
right.
And then you have to see like
yeah,
stuff like that.
But that makes the better art.
Though. Or like pains and struggles and things that you always pretend that everything's perfect. But then like we're human, we're not, and then you go into yourself and digging out all the questions and stuff and finding out that was a kind of tough, good or bad and all that, but something really happened that time, and I really like grew all of a sudden.
Yeah, over just like a 2-year period.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that like. Was there some culture shock here?
Of course. Every single
Especially
day.
Baltimore.
yeah, in that and everything is culture shock for me. Like first month when I landed it, I lived it right by Johns Hopkins.
Okay,
so I get out apartment, and then there's a Johns Hopkins track, and people go out and do exercise, and maybe I could do this like a movie. People do this, and then I went out. I'm so scared, and then I'm walking the track, and people like hi. I'm like, do they already know me? Like I was kind of shocked.
Famous.
I know. It's like, how come they all know me already? Like I was like, and then I just got panicked. Like, why these people already know me? I just got here, and then I went back, and then I couldn't get out of the house for a week because I was a little like a panic. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, but then some said we say everybody hi all the time.
Is that not the culture in Korea?
No.
You just kind of go on about your business?
No.
I mean, people in New York don't say hi either.
Just like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
but on a college campus, it's a little bit different.
still
Yeah.
at beginning I was like so weird, like being like that is so weird, like or people open the door and stand there until you pass. Who does that?
A gentleman.
I know, but in Korea, no, you just like so busy, like nobody actually, and like when you bump at each other, and it's such a small country, like you bump each other all the time. You just pass by,
Right.
no excuse me, nothing, just so. You know, some people visit Korea, they're like, people are so mean. Like, no, that's just the way they are.
Right.
Like here, like if people say hi, like they know me or something. Yeah. But that's just culture.
Yeah, it's definitely different culture. Were you in Seoul or anywhere close to there?
No, I'm from like all the way in the south,
Okay.
and southwest. Just like my old husband always says, like, oh yeah, the state just like Alabama, like
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, they would say hello to you down in Alabama. That's for sure.
Yeah, the food is so good there too.
So do you ever get like artist block?
Oh yeah, of course.
What do you do to overcome that?
Go out, drink, drunk,
Okay.
or
Similar.
or like wasted, like watching movie all day,
Yeah.
and like or like pretend that I'm not an artist.
Oh.
Don't want to think about it.
Okay.
And just go back, and then you know. But then, just like you've when you do you remember time that you really fall in love?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't see them, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you want to see
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's like forever, like a curse. Like I don't see you, I don't know you, like
Right.
I don't want to be. But then, like, I'm gonna miss. I love it. I miss you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in that place right now with music, just because I don't have a lot of time. But it's like knocking all the time. Where it's like, okay, we'll just pick up your guitar. So I started playing a little bit more every day, just to kind of like knock the dust off. And I know that I can write stuff. I just it's hard to find the time to do it. But I need to do it for spiritual reasons or whatever, just to get it off my chest.
Yes.
But so. It kind of, the writer's block, you're forced into getting out of it, essentially?
Kinda. Like, there's a moment like that, you avoiding so much that, like, time that, like, that there's nowhere, you're in, like, right on the cliff.
Yeah.
So either that, or you turn around.
Right.
And face it.
Yeah.
So then it's just easy way, like I said, like it's so organic. Take a sketchbook out, start doodling.
Yeah.
And
then it always starts to come back. Something will.
Yeah, and then like you never even know, like an hour, 2 hours just passed. Like I didn't know, like see, like when you are so focused doing something that you love, like you don't even know that like time just passed or something.
Right.
Like you are so centered in yourself, like like, oh, I love it, and like I could almost see myself, like I'm getting out over there, standing there and looking at me, like
yeah, that's great.
So
I mean, and that's kind of like do you have like a daily practice sort of a thing that you do, or you just kind of like do from piece to piece, like as you get inspired?
So like there's a time that I want to be so good at drawing, and like a pencil, and so good at painting. Like those days I literally paint 3 days, paint 3 hours, paint 3 hours drawing.
Okay.
So 6 hours dedicated.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Like that's like every single day, not even Sunday off. So like those times, like when you do drawings, you use your hands sometimes a lot. So I don't have any like the pattern. What's that called? Like
fingerprint?
No, I did not have it.
Okay.
So like for the
I mean, that's happened with guitars. You get calluses.
Yeah, exactly. Like pianists, like they have look like a frog hand.
Yeah.
So like that, I didn't have it. So when I got a citizen and they tried to take my print, and they did like, where's the print?
Like, she's a CIA spy.
My husband still thinks that I'm a spy from North Korea. It's just like, why you don't have it? But like for a long time, I didn't have it because I was like so in love with it, and like when I'm done with that, like, oh, I'm done with this. When I fall in love with the pre-making process, printmaking is totally another word. But then like dealing with lots of chemical, like you're living in the chemical like world, and like I developed like 43 allergies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I'm so like my body just because of 4-5 years.
Wow.
Like doing printmaking like intensively, so like I can't do it anymore though.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it like just stuff on your hands, or is it like
Because
breathing in stuff
yeah,
too?
breathing in,
Yeah.
and then so like slightly like almost creating asthma, like and
wow.
so like it has to be really well ventilated, and
Yeah.
like if you do 3 days, you have to take off for 4 days, something like that. So
Yeah.
like, but you don't know it when you love something. Like you go there every day, you do something, and then you're checking. Like you make a little fix and then print it out. I need more work, and then you're working and then putting it more acid, and
then just slowly over time you
Over
start
time,
to
yeah.
notice some issues.
issues. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's tough to like have to give up too if you really like it that much.
Yeah, so I want to have a print shop in my barn when I fix my barn even more.
Just do it every once in a while
Yeah.
instead of every day
Yeah.
for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So how did you make the leap from, did you have like a regular job and then got into becoming an artist, or have you always just been doing art for a career?
So no, I always doing art career.
Oh,
Like,
awesome.
yeah, I tried to get a job in a grad school. I applied job as a waitress. I got fired on the first day.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, it was kind of hard, but then like the owner came in and he says, "You don't smile enough. Maybe you shouldn't come here tomorrow." I'm like, "What? Okay." Like so, but I got a job like teaching art classes, like things that always relate to art.
Yeah.
So that was really kind of awesome.
That's cool. So what's like your main like source of income when it comes to different types of art? Is it painting mostly, or is there other mediums? Like how do people like hire you to do stuff? Is it murals? Is it
Yes.
custom paintings, or what's like the main driving factor?
I mean, paintings, murals like once in a while. Not everybody wants to do it, and it's but paintings are like yes, people. It's more like a portable, smaller,
Yeah.
and then some people do it for like a sentimental reason, for like remember they want to remember their moms, and or like a family portraits. Like people like do that, but also it's like some people have this old paintings that like ask me to restore. Like those are really fun. Yeah, so you clean it and you check everything. I'm not going to share too details. So this is but
I'm not gonna do it, so don't worry.
so like you have to see the condition, like what kind of procedure you need, and so that's also really really fun. And I've been involving creating some logos, and
I saw the one from Meredith House.
Yeah, I know.
That's really cool.
still a secret.
I'm not going to show it.
I know.
But I think it's like perfect for their brand and where they're
Yes.
trying to go. And it's like
Yeah.
an easy emblem too that you could
Yeah.
put. We were saying like make like a wax signet ring that you could put on it.
Of
Like
course.
yeah.
Yes. Or we also create coins and stuff.
Yeah. So maybe show me some of the stuff that you brought.
Yeah, I will. Okay. So okay. So this is drawing
Okay.
that done in 2008, and it's done with my hair. So,
Really?
so you have to come. So each line is the strength of my hair.
Oh, my wife would love that. That's very cool.
So I want that time, like I was deeply fascinating by like things, like how things grow, and I had a huge garden. Like I was like living outside, and I loved watching things like from the sea and growing and all that. But so like I wanted to show that whole cycle of like life.
Yeah.
And then but I don't know how to translate what I'm experiencing into two-dimensional surface, and then something that has like all the meaning to it. And then I'm like, what, like my hair fall down from my hair. I'm like, wait, girls, and then like pick it up and throw away. And then I open trash bag again. I'm like, maybe I should do something with it, because that contains, once it's alive, when it falls, it's a death.
Right.
But something that doesn't have any structures, and I want to repurpose it and give it order be something.
So was that glue?
So this is a bookmaking glue, PHV.
Okay. How did you get it so straight?
With all my patient, remember calligraphy I mentioned?
Oh yeah.
So
did you use like tweezers?
Tweezers. So you stay and then move, glue it, and then you stay, and like this very slowly. So it took so long, but that's where see and then grow. The time is the key. Also, when they're like a tiny seed, it's like almost there's looks like it doesn't have that much potential or insignificant, right?
Like when you took the hair, did you know that you could make it that straight, or you're just gonna let's see what happens?
Let's see what happens. So and then I start doing just like a simple drawings first, and then I could do this, and then how about I could make a square, and then I did. So after all that having fun, I'm like,
that could be a whole thing in itself, like a whole different medium, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once I did this, I had a show, and I was in the newspaper, and
cool.
then I was in the also in the news. So that somebody interviewed me in Baltimore, and it went to a magazine all over the world.
Oh wow.
So after that, a lot of people start using hair as a medium.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, ooh.
You're the original.
So, but anyway.
That's very cool.
So that's where you could build something like a three-dimensional look, but look at that.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, my wife will like that a lot.
Yeah. And then, when I could do that, I could create some images that look almost like a dry point, like a pre-making.
Yeah.
So
is this hair too?
Is the hair too.
Oh wow.
It's a cloud.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
I mean, that's great because it looks like a sketch when
Exactly.
you first look at it, but when you get up close, it's like, oh, okay, wow. I mean, how long did this one take?
That takes some. I remember I was creating it when my second kids were sleeping, so I set up the table. And then every hour, 30 minutes, I go there and
pull out a piece of hair.
yeah. I say, I gotta do. And then until you hear, and then you go there. So that's how
That's crazy. That's very cool. So do you have a whole collection of these? That's awesome.
So
that's very cool.
I had a collection of all clouds series, and that's all old bonds that disappearing in that neighborhood. As when
two silos took over.
Yeah. So 20 years ago when we moved in here, it was like a country, and and there wasn't that many Asian people. So when people see me little girls in a Target or grocery store, they always either call me Pocahontas, or because they don't see that many Asian people there. So but then now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to challenge myself that really thin strands of the hair. What can I build? Something I wanted, I was looking for something that a little more challenging that people would wow, sort of thing.
Oh man. Yeah, pull it back a little bit so you can see it. Oh yeah.
So this one, so the house that I live, the ex-owner had horses, so they divided property with all fences, but then. We don't have horses, so the fence is kind of on the way, it's kind of plugging everywhere. So we took everything off, but the wood itself was so beautiful. We kept it.
Okay.
So we repurposed it. We could use something else, and then I was playing with my kids. They were young outside, and then I saw the fence post, and I starting to cry. Looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, had a purpose, and then it looked just like me waiting for something happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Kind of like the mulch. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I have to do, like it's like it's talking to me that like I have to do something about this whole setting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
That probably took the longest, I'm guessing.
I have another ones that 6 times bigger than this.
Oh, wow.
Or like there's another guy. I had a museum show, but that one is like 10 times bigger than this.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's like all day.
Wow.
80 every day, like for a year, that one piece.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for bringing those in. That's very unique. We got to show my wife before you leave. She'll get a kick out of it. You're good. Traveling around the globe.
I know.
So what's like been the biggest challenge for you in doing art, especially around here? You know, if you're in New York or LA or San Francisco or something.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
Well, I actually I just had a leadership program.
Okay.
And that was also amazing, just like a grad school. It opens your eyes and like give you a perspective and give you like almost like a driven purpose.
Okay.
Because I was in the art industry in the world with the galleries, museums, and teaching at the university and all that experience in that word jhana.
Yeah.
Almost. But then after get out and having a family, I kind of like shift my driven to like a real world. Like why don't we just give services to the like a people to people? Why we have to go all the way around?
Right.
So actual people never actually really experience anything. So like that's why I jump out. And you know, I would also want to make money, but also like, hey, like there's some way that I could serve.
Yeah.
Before I die or disappear. So
Disappear.
I mean, like you know, when you die.
You're a mad magician now.
Yes. So like I really wanted to do like other way, like other way. So I came out and then like so awkward, like. I don't know how to even say like, hi, I'm a so businesswoman. Like it's so weird. Like, so, but then I get into it and then I start connect with like a CEO and business owners. You know, they're as like artistic. They just doesn't know how to articulate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like. It doesn't mean they're not like they don't understand. It's someone just like lift them up and like you know giving them motivation here and there, bring things out from them. Right. Like, have you ever seen the mirrors at the Chamber's office?
Yeah, yeah.
It was so fun with work with Bob because he has so much like on the visions and stuff. But like, you know, we talk. We're like. Doing a lot of editing together and you know like and when he saw the image it's like whoa, it's shocking that things that they have it like actually really translated but not like a descriptive way, like in beautiful way. They're like even shocked than myself, like you know, like so it was so nice to see like in the transformation of people like actually realize that art is not too far away, like it live within us,
within everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, you might not be able to play music or whatever, but you might have some other way, poetry or who knows what it is. I think everyone has some level of skill when it comes to creativity. You know, I'm not like super religious anymore these days, but I do feel like that is something that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to create. And some people it's business, you know, but it's not always for everyone. Like if I'm not creating music in some regard, then I'm a little bit more depressed.
Yeah, I mean, but here I think this is like putting out, you know, you as a musician, as an artist, me as an artist, we're like having conversation. This is like we're creating this amazing atmosphere. Like, you know, that's like another form of like a creation for me.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a musician, but like every time I go to concert or even like classical, it doesn't matter. I go there when I like become like involving it. Like I'm always crying. Like I can't. Like I don't know. Maybe it's menopause. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like it really like touched my heart, and like you can't help it. And myself, even though I'm not playing, I felt like I'm a musician because I've become one
Right.
with that musician.
You're like connected with what's
yeah.
happening in the atmosphere. Yeah. What's something like people might not realize about like how hard it is to do what you're doing? Just like is it like the painstaking hours, the mental back and forth, the anxiety that it's not going to be good enough? Is there anything in particular?
All of them. I mean, even though like you have all this knowledge, even though what looks good, what makes like stand out, but when you work with the people, they want to see what they want to see. But then, like learning myself that when I'm working more like I'm calling them collaboration with like I get commission from him or her. I want to see with my wife and this setting with this kind of thing. I'm like, could be a little cheesy, but I don't want to say that, right?
Yeah.
But then I suggest this. We kind of work through it.
Right.
But
And they have to trust you as the artist. Like,
yeah. But they still want to see a little bit of what they
of course.
intend. So like then like hey, hey Youngmi Art, like this is a service that you're given. You never know. You might think it's bad, but maybe 10 years later,
Right.
you never know. So like I'm like give all respect, like all the respect, and then like I suggest a little bit, and they looked at it, and and then I show them first, and they're like, oh, I actually like it. Okay, keep it that way. So then it's creating like a beautiful, like I don't know, like oh, this is like working.
Right.
And
you're almost like able to channel them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
and I learned that
bring
too.
it to life. Yeah, that's cool.
So and it was so it's but then until like building up, and I'm gonna use this palette, this color, and then at night you lay down and I'm thinking, oh, what if he doesn't like it? I'm like, oh my god. So like there's all kinds of involved.
Yeah, I mean, and I would never got contracted to make music, but still, I think about, are the people going to like it?
Yeah,
even though,
absolutely.
but the whole point is that I feel confident in it. I like it. That's kind of what it has to come down to, and hopefully that will translate. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Not everything. Not every work is going to be the same. You just got to keep pumping them out. Do you have like a point that you get to where you're like, that's good enough?
I mean, as a musician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like. Sometimes you work like 6 hours or 3 hours, and then oh, this is it. I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Like just like perfect. But sometimes you're struggling years and years, and like that's why I have all this hair left. Yeah. Oh, it's like, I can't get into it. I can't get out of this stage. I hate it.
Yeah.
So put it away.
Right.
Put it away, and then years later, oh, I didn't know that I was working on this.
Just totally forgot about it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And I like it. I love it. And then you do something, and then something magical thing happens.
Yeah. Well, and I think it is good to kind of, you're not getting that Inspiration, to kind of just like let it sit for a while, but work on something else.
Yes, just keep moving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was one of my biggest problems when I first started was having to be perfect, even though I was terrible. I was terrible anyway when I started. I mean, everyone is when they start. They're not going to be great unless you're a prodigy of some sort, or whatever. But just getting to the point where it's like, this is good enough.
Right.
Good enough. It shows it's the idea of what I'm going for. Because you can always tweak things, and you could be in hell forever tweaking that last 10%. I was talking to John Hart, and he's the same way, like you're never going to get that last 10%. So move on to the next one.
Because, and you think if you want to tweak a little bit, like, and then you ruin it.
Yeah.
So like at that point, when you're that point, I don't know what to do next. Then just leave it.
Right. And just be okay with it.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're not more inspired to change it, or, you're just going to ruin the idea of it.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you end up in are you in Manassas, or are you in?
Yeah, and I'm Nooksville.
Okay, yeah. So just leaving Baltimore and
Yeah, we got married 2003, and then like a choice of being in just maybe we just buy like rundown buildings in Baltimore,
yeah,
dealing with the scariness.
Martin Luther King Boulevard. Yikes.
Oh, but now it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But like or like have a land, and my husband's actually originally from Virginia. That he born and grew up here, and he always loved the landscape and here.
Yeah.
So like, can we go to Virginia? And I don't know. Like, oh sure.
Yeah.
And then I came here like at that time, 2003. I didn't have my driver license.
Okay.
Because I was in Korea, came here. I lived in the only school areas.
Walkable areas
Yeah.
or taking the bus or whatever.
Yeah, I don't need a car. So that was kind of challenging because like
Especially in Knoxville 20 years ago.
yes, like nothing there, like snakes and
Yeah.
squirrels.
I had a snake guy on before. He brought a 6-foot black snake with him like last week. So maybe you wouldn't have liked to have been on that episode.
No, I hate snake. Do you? Do you like?
That was my first time, and I was like actually legitimately scared beforehand, but the snake was like cool and it's not venomous, you know. So I
It's a
like,
black snake.
yeah, and I petted a couple times, and I was like, kind of got over my fear. And he's like a really good educator too. He's been doing
Awesome.
it for like 20 years. So how has like your connection to the community affected your art and everything, and like how has that helped you grow the business?
Well, so so far it's only been a year, like a little more than a year, and then it was very like doubts and like a lot like why am I here? Like actually like maybe I'm dumb. Like it was so like awkward in
Yeah.
the beginning, but then
Well, there's not many artists that are in the chamber or anything like that.
right,
you know?
but then you know you see people and like I think that logo if that's like this it would be really pretty. Like I still starting to have my ideas like
Yeah.
how do I help them
Right.
being like there and meeting all this business owners and like so like in the beginning was like a little weird, but now like you know on top of Meredith's house, the beautiful salon artwork, I am working with the business card logos, and then I also like finished. I send the wine labels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing their own wine labels? Okay, cool.
And I didn't want to bring it here because it's ready, but
Yeah.
but it has to be grand opening over there. So
Yeah.
like stuff like there's so many like little areas that you can make it things so unique and your own.
Right.
I mean, not things that you find it in the stock market in the computer genetic images. So like it's really beautiful. The whole images that came from what I had experienced in Meredith's house. So like glimpse of images and my internal experience in there. So you have to see it.
Yeah.
And then the 5 different wines kind of cascading like more dynamic as it goes.
Oh, cool.
Like a starter wine to cabernet, like. So it's
That's
really,
awesome. That's
yeah.
fun to be able to do too.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, you know, you were there one day, like standing, like so awkward, but then you get to know more deep, like involved in one at a time. You started to see, oh, I could do this for them.
Yeah.
I could really, like, you could step in. Like, I mean, we just mentioned about Gaudi, like, or like Eiffel Tower. When the tower was building, people like they're like saying that they should not build this, take it down. They're like protesting because it's so ugly. But you know how much money Eiffel Tower bring it like every year to the Paris? Like billions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tourists. So like, you know, like art sometimes like art. Why we need art? But then no, we do need art. That makes like statement, and then they make this place unique. I want Manassas to be so unique, and then like in 50, 100 years later, like people want to come to see this town because I was here and of making
right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Things different.
So what's like the vision that you see over the next, 5 or 10 years of how you want to grow? And do you have like a a vision for it? You want to just keep kind of doing what you're doing?
Well, like yes, I just finished a leadership, and then there I decide that I'm gonna bring more arts into like stir some movements in this town.
Okay.
So that's my first bow. Like yeah.
Okay.
So next, I think I'm going to maybe do other like maybe take a signature program and get to know more business owners. Like really like doing like maybe like awesome projects for
Right.
this town.
Yeah.
That like it will be like Apple Tower, something like what's the word that like it shows the like iconic
Yeah. Yeah.
thing like so like
And all they have right now is a love sign.
I love that's great too.
That's great, but there's an opportunity for more art for sure. There's
More.
a huge opportunity.
Yeah, so we could. I mean, the old town is so small and beautiful, and people in Manassas is so warm and kind. You can't get that in Alexandria. You can't
Right.
get that in Arlington.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is own beauty and charm, and then here, like we could bring like that, but with the music and art. I think that's gonna like my dream come true. Actually,
Yeah, that'd be great.
isn't it?
So if you had to is there something that you haven't done that you want to do? Do you have like a vision of something that you would like to do but you haven't gotten the chance to?
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know, but like I was driving today and I was like, what do I have to do do next? Like I'm thinking, but I could do the murals outside of the buildings and stuff, but I also wanted to do like beautiful like mirrors on the like not on the wall, but like a huge canvas but mounting on it, but so they keep it so long. Like I don't know, in the city hall, like something that like everybody could see, and it's there for like a landmark.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like amazing collaboration. Like I want to. Wouldn't that be so nice? I have to get to do stuff like that, showing like history of Manassas, and then like moving like beauty. I don't know. Like there's so much stories in here that like we could reveal. That our
Yeah, it's a big history.
yeah, and
sure.
our generation could see.
Yeah.
And like like something that like I don't know, we my favorite artist, another artist is Michelangelo.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You ever heard of him?
the reason I like him so much is that I could relate to him. He's so stubborn, but
Okay.
really hardworking, and he challenges himself all the time, and and you see life of his work like really shows everything. I mean, how much like it still affect our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, his sculpture is so beautiful. Paint. He's not a painter, but he did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's not a painter?
He's not.
Looks
he's
like a painter to me.
I know, but he did that. It's just like that's what I want to like leave it.
Okay.
Like something that like not that close, but like I want to do something like
Something
that.
big and dramatic. Yeah.
That
That'd
would
be cool.
that be so like either church or like
I didn't know he was known for being stubborn.
he very stubborn.
Perfectionist too, a little bit maybe.
Like then I need another hour. I could talk about him all day, but like he's just like I think in history there's a few people that like really God give them like 100% talent.
Yeah.
I think he's one of them.
Yeah.
Like he was always good ever since young. He's stubborn because he wants certain things certain way. So first the 6th chapter in the beautiful mirrors on the ceilings, they're all naked. But then a Pope says, "This is church. We can't." And he said, "No, I'm not covering it." So he like years and years of fighting with the Pope. And the Pope got angry. He hit him with his cane. Also, like he wouldn't finish it on time, so they got into fight. So he decided I'm not doing this. So he went home and tried to pack. So like the Pope sent him money, like no, please stay and finish it. But thank God he stayed to finish it and everything. But like what he believes, he does it.
Yeah.
But does well.
Right.
I think instead of ego share with people, the stubbornness doesn't mean always negative.
Right.
It
could just be really believing in what your vision is for your art.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was definitely stubborn a few times. Like, this is how it's going to be with this song, like,
few times?
yeah, yeah, you got me. You got me. So what's something, so you have like your own space at your place? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I used to have a room for my studio, and the kids growing and they're taking over.
Yeah.
So now I have this corner on the house. I use this big table. I'm doing it. I have a barn, so if I have a big piece, I could do that.
Yeah.
But it's rough, survival place. No air conditioning.
Oh yeah.
So
it's got to be like a day like this where it's not too hot.
Yeah. Even if it's cold, I have to, and I do this. But it would be really nice fixing everything and work there. But yeah, I have a place and I can't wait to fix my barn.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, speaking of leadership stuff, what kind of advice would you give to someone wanting to be an artist, starting out?
Believe in yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, and make sure you love it.
Yeah.
And also, really good artist is not doing it with your heart. For me, you also have to know it. You have to have a knowledge. You need to discipline yourself to learn the skills also. Because sometimes you're in a good mood, you could do things really good. But if you don't have a good foundation, like a musician.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like this. So be ready. I want to say, be ready. But like I said, if you love it, that's not a problem at all.
Right.
Because you'll spend time doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I just found out that I loved it because I was actually getting better at something.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was a way to express myself, which I had never really done before, and I didn't really have any sort of voice growing up. I was just kind of the youngest in the family, and I was good at school and all that sort of stuff, but I didn't really have a thing. My dad made me play football, and I was 130 pounds, and I got destroyed. And then
you could go around there.
Yeah, I wasn't even fast either. So it was, but he played, and he was he was 6'2" in high school.
Sense.
So he played in college and stuff. And then I ran track a little bit, but once I found singing and playing music, I was
right?
this is something I can actually do and be good at, or at least better than what I was at football. And it's something I could excel at. But I definitely think just keep doing it as well. Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Especially during failure.
Yeah, of course, failure makes you grow.
Yeah. I had a couple times we tried to get with record labels and they didn't like it, but I immediately got better. The next group of songs that I would write were I was I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna do,
I know.
So you do get that much better. So the main advice is just kind of keep on keeping on.
Yeah, trust yourself. Like I told you, believe in you.
But you do think it's good to get the fundamentals.
A little bit. I think otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of stuff you're trying to do.
I mean, if you want to do graphic, you can't do it with all your heart. You need to know how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to take some classes or
exactly.
a bunch of YouTube. I've learned a lot of my stuff.
You could self-taught, but hey, spend some time to get to know and understand the mediums. Oh, I know. No, you really don't know it.
Right.
You need to spend time to really understand what this medium can do.
Yeah,
it's like a whole human.
And I think that's kind of the delusion of starting. In any art or creative thing, you're I can do it. And then as you start doing it, you're like, this is actually
Really hard.
really hard to do. And I've only like the tip of the iceberg in any particular thing. I went from like playing rock music to like getting into more pop sort of stuff. And I was like, this song sounds super easy. And then I actually started trying to produce it. And I was like, this is and it took me like 5 years to get where I was like, okay, this is like, could be on the radio quality. But, you don't know what you don't know. And there's like a little bit of naivety, arrogance that happens, I think, with some people. They're like, oh, I could be a rapper.
Yeah, I know.
Well, start doing it.
It's not easy. Like, like I'm not following them, but like I get to hear stories, those Korean pop, like K-pop. Like, those kids maybe like came out, get together like in year. No, they're like 5 to 10 years training.
Oh, wow.
Training
before they even launch an album or anything.
Yeah, so they started like 13, 14. They get cast and go to school, but then they come and practice and dance. Like 5 to 10, in between 5 to 10 years, they're like they're not famous. They're working hard.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it is. There's no overnight success.
No,
it's years of working, and then all of a sudden you get your break. You get a viral clip on TikTok or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So how do you want people to feel when they get like a piece of art from you? Is there like a particular emotion that you're looking for from them, or?
Well, no, I just wanted to smile. It's like happy.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while you get not the reaction that you wanted sometimes. But you get to know me soon. But I just keep, okay, take it back and try it.
Right.
Even if it's so hard to charge. I'm always saying, like, I want like a certain amount of money for my 1 hour. Never happened because I always overdo. Because when I do something like I do my standard, I can't just spend 2 hours because that's gonna what that person will pay for me. No, I just keep digging until this is it.
Yeah. So how do you like figure out your pricing for a particular?
It's hard. It's really
it's
really
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey. Like when like a art center somewhere, they just announce it, like we want mirror for here, 30 grand. So okay, I measured it. Oh, so that's how people are charging it. So then I put a little bit down. But then you negotiate with the owners, like this is what I can afford it. Like, okay, well, let's see what I can do. But I don't like, okay, that's 10-hour job. I'm only going, timing. 10 hour. No, I'm not. It's hard to like that.
Yeah.
Just like
if it's not coming together the way that you want to, you can't just be like, all right, good enough.
Yes, just like always giving piece of me with all all my heart and stuff. So like always more.
And you want to be proud of it.
Yes.
Be like, I did that.
Yeah. So when I give it, I know that this person will smile. It doesn't matter how much time struggling I had. In the end, it's like fairy tale.
Yeah.
Here you go. Happily ever after.
So let's briefly, I mean, you've told me a little bit about it, but your process for doing the stuff at the Meredith House, and I'll put some pictures on the video so people can see like the finished product and like your actual process. So you had like a 60-foot canvas?
Yeah.
So did you draw that first?
So like you do background first. Yes, kind of landmark.
Like, did you draw it in a small scale?
Yes, it's small scale, and then I showed it to Sean, and he's like, "Whoa, this is great. Do it." What?
That's nice.
I the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I don't have to do second preliminary. It's like, whoa, he's so cool, and just like one time, and then later he told me like, "You're an artist. You should know what you're doing." So you know what, like that 100% trusting and freedom, like I went my studio and whoa, like to make it even better. Yeah. Instead of
someone trusts me that much and believes in me that much.
Yes.
I'm gonna bust my butt for it.
My expectation go up too. So like I'm not gonna bring out anything okay. It has to be over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 60 feet, and then how many is it? 8 pieces?
No, 14.
14? Really? I must have not counted right.
First, just one room.
Yeah. So how long did that take you from when he signed off on the concept for you to actually create it? Do you have like a rough
month? About a month.
Okay. How many hours, if you could say?
Like when I work and like I work like a full-time job Okay. 8 to 10 hours a day.
So what is that? For 160 hours?
Yeah, but
roughly?
roughly, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did you decide where you were going to cut the pieces? Because is that...
I already had a plan.
Okay.
So
Did you like measure the walls first and like figured out how it's going to divvy up?
yes, but then mostly I wanted it, like a lot of times when I work like my fence post and then clouds and it all has to contain the story that what I'm going through. And I wanted to create a story for that salon room, Meredith's house. So I went, every time I have a moment, I went there, walk around the whole building. And then I feel something, but I don't know exactly what it is. And then 2 days later, I going back. So, and then look around and walk around mostly. And then sometimes I go there, stand there quite for a while, like, and then see, and then I kind of create, once this owned by these people, couple with the puffy dress, and I have Christmas. Once the kids running around, you know, like I starting to like
Feel the ghosts?
Yeah. I mean, because I wanted it like something, something that kind of shows that whole journey of the time, 100 years.
Yeah.
So what is like being a building, this building? Like if I was building, like what I want to bring it out to, and offer a show to people.
Right.
Hey, so like, and then I go there and then I touch things and I see, like the way Sean bring out like as much as what original the structures, and I kind of see all that, and that was kind of my inspiration.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So we made a patterns that kind of inspire a whole concept of like a building, like Art Deco and stuff. But then also I kind of created a geometric shapes that as a memories or things happening. So kind of abstract approach.
Yeah.
But like, hey, this happened and that, and it was more like
a story. Yeah. Well, I think that's like it's a good juxtaposition because it is such like a classical building to have something a little more new and modern.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch for sure.
Yeah.
So how can people find you? How can they find your stuff?
It's so easy. My name, youngmiart.com.
Okay.
And you just Google Youngmi Art or something, and it just pop up.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming today. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.